last 8 years. But I want you to think about this story. So Adam Schefter reports that Shedeur Sanders is going to hold one last private workout Thursday in Boulder, Colorado for the New York Giants. Now, former NFL GM Mike Tannenbaum quote tweeted it and said, this is what happens late in the process when there's a big disagreement in the building or they've got new information. I don't think it's either. So let's just say this first. Why would you do a private workout? This is not a hung jury where you need more evidence. You have 50 games in college on tape. He's already had a pro day. The only thing scouts aren't quite sure about, the mystery with him isn't arm or mobility. He's average there. It's, does he hold the ball too long? Yes. But you're not going to decipher that, uncode that at a personal workout. I think the New York Giants are doing this because they're not drafting him. Because the Saints, with the Derek Carr news that he may miss the season, the Saints are going to draft him at the number 9 spot. But by the Giants going to Boulder, Colorado, clever move, ooh, we are very interested. No, they want to move down and accumulate more draft picks. So I believe the Giants do not want Shedeur Sanders. They've got 50 college games on tape. They've been to his pro day. They've interviewed him. Again, think about his traits. Arm, okay. Mobility, okay. Everybody in the room knows that. The only mystery with Shedeur Sanders is he holds the ball too long. You're not going to be able to figure out if he gets rid of the ball quicker at a private workout. Okay, they're in my opinion, this is Mike Tannenbaum's off here. Like him, know him, I think he's off. I think they're doing this to send a signal to the teams drafting below them. You know what? We're having second thoughts on Shedeur Sanders.
Okay. Oh, man, we really just need to get this draft through. You know, all the tinfoil hat theories are kind of exhausting here because if you're the Saints, I don't know if you're going to want to trade up to the 3rd pick in the draft for Shedeur Sanders. If anything, the Saints, if they, oh gosh, there's so many different ways to look at this. Listen, I don't disagree with what Colin is necessarily saying, but like when you look at the draft order, Patriots are not going to draft a quarterback. Jags aren't going to draft a quarterback. You have the Raiders. That is a question mark, but you know, probably not. It's probably a safer bet to say not, but it is technically a question mark. Then you have the Jets. They're not. I mean, they already paid Justin Fields a bunch of money. And then you have the Panthers. They're not. So then there you go. You have the Saints. So this idea that they're going to have to trade all the way up to the third pick in the draft to get Shedeur Sanders, I just, at that point, the Saints would be better off if Carr's not playing. They just kind of pivot and say, hey, we're not going to be good next year. And the draft next year is way better. And we're going to be able to get a quarterback who's at the level of, probably better than Shedeur Sanders. And, go from there, not have to give up anything and still draft someone in our 9th pick that will set us up for a year or two later. Like, I don't know why. And again, unless you absolutely believe that Shedeur Sanders is that special. And if he was that special, well, then the New York Giants should just draft him. So it's just kind of like this whole talk kind of just continues to be like a snake eating its own tail, honestly. Like that's what it so continues to feel for me. And then again, it's just like, what are the Giants trying to build right now then, too? They want to accumulate draft picks, et cetera, et cetera. So, like, let's say they do that. Again, I don't know what would be available to them, but, like, let's say they go do that. They're going to build their team a little bit, but then they're going to, and especially if they, let's say they turn that one draft pick, they turn the number 3 pick into, 2 picks, and now they're able to draft. And also, like, if they go back though, so then they're gonna miss out on like a Hunter or Abdul Carter. Like, I just don't understand then what they're necessarily trying to do, because then if they go backwards and they draft, whoever, now they'll definitely miss out on some of the key big game, immediate game changers, but they'll still improve their roster. They'll probably then, with a Russell Wilson as your quarterback, you're going to win enough games to now not be a high draft pick the following year. So then it's just like, what's the quarterback plan? Or then you are going to go hunting in the second round for a quarterback? And it's just like, I don't know. Then do you believe that these second round quarterbacks are going to be better than Shedeur? And if you don't believe that they're better than Shedeur, then why even waste the pick? And at that point, then just get Shedeur. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. It just continues to feel messy to me, honestly. When you're one of these in between teams, and I know fan bases don't love to hear it. When you're one of these in between teams, like, I really am open to just being like, you know what? Draft the best player you can right now. Punt the following, this coming season, and then draft the quarterback the next year. Again, like I'm not. It's not like I'm advocating for tanking, etc., etc. But like, you just kind of recognize the situation you're in, and it's your own fault for being bad for years, and then like not, it's like it's the Giants' fault for like not transitioning away from Daniel Jones. Like it's their fault for kind of playing that game that they did. So it's just like, and I guess my feeling is always kind of like, what's another bad year then? You already had a couple bad years in the, recently. So like, what's another bad one? Like, I'll never understand. I will never feel great about a team that's like kind of okay. And then you go out and get a quarterback who is not complete garbage, but it can still win you some games. Cause it's just like, at that point, like I said, you're going to win like maybe like 7, 8, 9 games or something like that, 8 games. And now it just kind of really hurts you. And you really do I just would rather just be bad. I would rather just be awful, have a top pick in the draft, and then there you go. Get at it, get after it. And then like seemingly overnight, you do become the Washington Commanders with Jaden Daniels. But now imagine a world where the Commanders went out and got like a Russell Wilson, and they won a bunch of games, and now they didn't draft number 2 overall. They don't get Jaden Daniels. And now they are not the team that they are now. They are now predicted to be like, a perennial top team for like the next decade, as long as Jaden Daniels stays healthy. Like that's the difference. That's the game changer that you get. But when you have some of these quarterbacks who, like I said, can win you some games, you're just kind of stuck. Best case scenario, you end up being the Pittsburgh Steelers, where you make the playoffs and then you get crushed the first round. But you get to say we've never had a losing season. It's like, cool. When's the last time does anyone think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl this coming season? Does anyone feel that confidence? Does anyone think that they have a chance to win the Super Bowl over the next couple of years? No, they do not. Do people think that the Washington Commanders have a chance to win the Super Bowl? Obviously, they were just in the NFC Championship game last season. They were just right there. So obviously, to me, those are the differences. So I don't know. I'm so fascinated to see what a team like the Giants do, or even the Saints for that matter. But like the constant speculation, the tinfoil hats, the trying to figure this all out. Like, I don't know. If Shedeur Sanders is special enough for the Saints to trade up to the 3rd overall pick to get it, especially when 4 doesn't need a quarterback, 5 doesn't need a quarterback, you can make the argument 6 doesn't need a quarterback, Jets, like, I don't know. Then it would feel like, well, then the Giants should draft Shedeur Sanders and start their Jaden Daniels year now. Although I definitely believe Jaden Daniels is way better than Shedeur, but again, if you think he's that special, like, so, I don't know. So this is what makes this year's draft kind of so messy, honestly. And that's why I felt like last year's draft was so much more straightforward. But like, if you're a Giants fan and you're not going to draft Shedeur Sanders, like, this is probably the best question to ask. Do you want them to trade back? Or do you want them to get like Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter? I guess it would potentially be who's available. Whoever the Browns don't select is probably who you would then select. Would you rather that? Because it's just like, if you trade back to the 9, like, I don't really know what you're getting there. I don't know. it's an interesting situation. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the New York Giants potentially trading back to the New Orleans Saints to pass on Shedeur Sanders? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.